Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer. Today I'm going to do a live stream because number one, I ain't done one in a long time. Number two, there's a bunch of little stuff that just kind of catch up on, talk to you guys about. Number three, I just kind of like doing them. It's kind of a slow Friday night. We got a little time here. Oh look, Gmail's telling me I'm going live. Let me get that out of the way. All right, let's see here. Item number one. The Olympus OMD EM5 Mark 43, whatever. Yet another camera. Has it gotten to the point to where we can't go 3 months without somebody launching a camera? Is it really got to be this often? It's incredible. It's like more people. Oh, what's the right words here? People worry more about the new equipment coming out than using the equipment they got. You know, it's kind of sad to see that, but it's true. You got all this gear floating around out here and nobody using it. You know, I'm gonna adjust my camera just a little bit down, something like that. There we go. And it's just surprising to me that they're still playing on that same old problem that photographers have. They love gear, and the manufacturers prey on this desire to have the newest equipment. We're kind of like what is it? Not a raven, whatever that black bird is that likes to collect the shiny things. We're like that. I can't remember what bird that is now. But anyway, it's just kind of interesting to see that we're not really getting anywhere in the whole photographic world. The technology it's going up a little, but it's kind of stabilized. And at this point, if you buy the new gear as it comes out, hey Mike, thank you for checking in. Then you're just buying into the hype. Your gear that you have will take beautiful photos if you'll just use it. Sometimes, maybe a lens will open up doors that you didn't have access to before. But yeah, Mike, I was just going over how Olympus just came out with yet another camera, and the whole photographic world is on its ear because of that, and it's crazy. Camera Conspiracies did a big video on it, about how he probably gonna have to change his theme song because he thinks he might have found the perfect camera. But yeah, I was gonna do a weekly kind of wrap up vlog / live stream tonight. Then the next problem I have is this little widget made out of pure unobtainium. I really need to cut this cord open and see what's broken in it. Except for Ibis is an old camera with old tech. Yeah, but they've made it a lot lighter. The camera doesn't weigh anything now. They took all the metal out and replaced it with lightweight plastic, so the camera's super lightweight now. And I think they even went to a smaller battery to reduce weight. One card slot from 2 to reduce weight. It was all about weight reduction. But the actual electronics, I think, are all the same, pretty much. Kind of interesting. But the Olympus guys, they're a pretty devout bunch. Them Olympus shooters, they're kind of like the Pentax shooters. They're pretty hardcore. They'll stick to their brand. I've noticed that. You say much about that Olympus, whatever that $3,500 Micro Four Thirds is. Hey, Long Rider, thank you for stopping in. That thing shocked me. How many people jumped off board with that? Well, that Mark 1 or whatever it was, OMD EM1, the big EM1 flagship camera. That thing was surprising. Item number 2. The GoPro what is this thing classified as? Impedance matcher, or impedance coupler. So you can hook your Rode Video Micro to your GoPro. I think this is bad. All at once, I lost about 7 or 8 dB of audio, and I started getting camera noise. This creaking sound started infiltrating my video. I got to doing some troubleshooting and found out that this wasn't feeding audio into the camera anymore, and I really think this is why. And supposedly GoPro has discontinued it, so you're not going to be able to get one now either. So I'm going to take this one apart and see if I can fix it and get it back operational. Because I gave like $50 for this little thing. And I noticed probably the better part of a week ago, I used to could jack into this USB-C port and actually download the footage without having to unplug this one from the camera popper. Because, you know, it's in between this light I've got mounted. It's in here, you know. So it's kind of handy that you didn't have to unplug it. So all at once, I could only charge through this. It ceased to transfer files. And then I got to noticing that the audio level was a little weak, because I normally got to pull about 10 dB off of it in the editing software. And suddenly I was having to take it up about 2 instead of pulling some off. That's the internal camera in the GoPro. It's not recognizing this thing anymore. So I've messed with it, went into the audio settings, tried to figure everything out. So I've got some kind of knockoff componentry ordered that should be here Monday. I've got basically a USB-C to headphone adapter, and then I've got the TRRS, basically the 3 to 4 connector like this one, but it's a flexible one. That's how I proved it. It was this. I plugged this in, and suddenly it continued to have the problem. But even with the lav mic, I was getting camera noise. That's how I knew for sure that it was the internal camera was working and this thing wasn't anymore. But I've had a pretty good run with it, but it doesn't move, so I was kind of surprised that it broke. But I have dropped it once or twice. You can't really tell it, but this connector is kind of, it's not square. I mean, you can kind of see it's bent a little bit, but it's worked up till now. So if any of you guys know where I can get one of these for reasonable money, I mean, I give $25, $30 for a used one if it works, because it's handy. And I've got the little cage where it's got the socket right here that holds it. You know, it just passes through into here, so it stores it. But see, I didn't have that for a long time, and it hung by the little wire, and I think that's what damaged it. But yeah, that's been a pain in my neck in the last week or so. You just do with what you got while you can. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna cut the sheath off of this, access the cabling, and make sure that the connector ain't got a broke wire in it, because I'm afraid being bent like that. Let's see if I get over here. It shows pretty good right there. You can see I've bent that connector, or I dropped it once. I'm thinking maybe it's got a broke wire, but I'm afraid something in this impedance circuitry is bad, and I'll have to cut the plastic sheath off of this to get in there to it, which I ain't opposed to doing that either. It's bad anyway. What have I got to lose? But yeah, I'm trying some knockoff componentry Monday. It was supposed to be here today, but it didn't make it. Amazon. But I've got, let's see here. I got a new video coming out tomorrow. Let's see here. Still working on the video from the Chattanooga Motor Car Rally, whatever they called it. I've got a bunch of footage for that, but I have not had an opportunity to actually put it together yet. So it's still in limbo. But I actually think I seen the footage where this quit, and it was when I was up in North Carolina, because I had a piece of footage where I walked down the road and I can hear the camera noise in it. and the piece of footage from the night before didn't have that noise in it. So I kind of know where this went bad, but I don't know why. It just quit. Figures. Oh, the clock is getting ready to chime here in about 5 minutes. But you guys got any questions? I know that iPhone came out with a new phone because every YouTube channel that does photography except mine had a video about reviewing it. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to put that aside. Oh, let's see. I got some text messages popping in. Bass angler's writing me. I texted him a few minutes ago, and I think he's just now getting to where he's writing me back. But, there he is. There's Bass Angler. Good to see you. I was just talking about the impedance coupler that I bought from GoPro that went bad on me, and I finally figured it out. I started getting, if y'all pay close attention to the videos, you can start hearing microphone noise from the GoPro mount. It's got this kind of creaking sound occasionally, and I think it was from the mic pulling on the housing, and I figured out this is bad, and these are made out of unobtainium. GoPro has discontinued this device, and they're not replacing it with anything, as far as I know. The new Hero 8 comes with the media package, and in that media package, they've got a device that has a little tiny shotgun mic and a external mic input, and you got to buy it for like 50 bucks. So that'll be my solution if I can't get this other stuff to work out. But I'm thinking that it'll probably work. You know, it's just a headphone adapter. Yeah. It's a good way to push you into the 8. I mean, I really like shooting video with this camera. It really, really works really, really well, especially for what I do. And this was the Achilles heel of the whole thing, was this device right here. And it worked great. I mean, it worked great in Israel. I didn't have any trouble until I got back home. But, whatever. So the Video Micro is currently dismounted. There's no point in it being on the camera without this device, so I took it off. But I thought about trying to run a lav mic. I don't really care for a lav mic. When I'm doing stationary table work, yeah, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, Olympus come out with a new camera. Let's see here. Nikon come out with a new camera. You can tell the holiday season is rapidly approaching. I have created a Facebook group. I'll probably mention this a time or two throughout the live stream. It's called the Georgia Photographer Gathering. And I did that because I did the Georgia Photographer Facebook page, but that created a whole dynamic of problems. Because what I wanted like a forum area where all of us could get together and everybody can post to it and everybody can share photos and talk about them and all that. And then it had like this sub area where the people that followed me could post stuff, but you had to know to go over there and look to see it. And I couldn't migrate them and I couldn't merge them, and I tried every way I could think of to make that do that, and it wouldn't work. Really don't have the time. And we're like memberships or whatever, and I'm doing them as I check it every day or so and make sure that there's not some lingering. But yeah, there's your common community space that's not, it's not on YouTube, and it's like searchable, you know. Oh, Long Rider. Ah, yes. He got an A7R4. Oh, you did. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm shaming Bassman and taking over as #1 eagle photographer. Oh! Look, dude, we don't need to see the veins in its retina. I mean, come on. Dude, how'd you like the A7R4? Let me ask you this question. Did it give you trouble with the high resolution? Did that cause trouble? It doesn't take much. You're on a quest for a blue-eyed eagle. Oh. Let me see here. Yeah. Yeah, well, we went up. Yeah, now this one's got to talk for a while. We went up. We went up. Well, that's hard to say in a hurry. The eastern seaboard last year. We got up to Maine and went out to Monhegan Island from. No, what was it called? Edgar's? No, I don't remember. But there's a little town. You ride a ferry out to Monhegan Island. We stayed all day, and then we rode the ferry back. And on the way back, we got to see bald eagles on one of the islands on our way back to Port Clyde. That was it, Port Clyde, Maine. And yeah, so the ferry actually went over closer to the island so that we could actually see the eagles. They were sitting in the top of the trees. It's kind of beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it was gorgeous country. The high resolution is definitely a humbling experience, and your technique has to be perfect. I wondered if that kind of resolution would show up as soft images if you wasn't doing your job right. Especially with a 600 millimeter lens, you know, how many times multiplication is that? 50, it's about 12 times magnification, something in that neighborhood. So yeah, you're magnifying all of the camera movement by 12. And the R doesn't have a stabilized center, does it? I don't think it does. I can't remember if it had IBIS or not. But I was talking a little bit earlier about the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival, that I still haven't put that video together. Longrider says, I waste a lot of shots if I don't really brace myself. Oh, it does have IBIS. Good. Yeah, it needs it. Wow. What you need is one of those tripod gimbals that you mount the lens on. It's got the dampening in it so that it doesn't, so you don't exaggerate camera movement. You probably have one. If you shoot birds, I know Bass Angler has one because he sent me a picture of something. We're currently in design phase of developing one. That's funny. Yeah. You can't see my head when that's out because of the light. He needs a D850, a real camera, or even a D810. I was going to shoot my D810 tomorrow. I've got it over here packed up. We're going to have a rock climbing competition tomorrow for the daughter, so we're all going, and I'm going to try to get into this one without having to drop $130 on gate admission. Ooh, excuse me. Normally, the one in Chattanooga I can get into just as a photographer because it's a pretty open venue. As long as you have a waiver on file, they normally don't mind photographing there. But that one up in North Carolina, it's a restricted access area anyway, and I think part of that had to do with the insurance or something. But I wasn't dropping no $130 to go see it. That long rider, go over to the Georgia Photographer Gathering, drop one of them photos of that eagle on there for him to look at. He says he's going to have to create a Facebook account now just so he can be a part of it. He's astute at YouTube, but has no Facebook page. In current events, has anybody seen the news with what's going on with Mexico? That's insane. How those drug cartels are at war with the police. Long Rider doesn't have Facebook either. You're kind of both blessed, just to tell you the truth. It's a necessary evil for my business, so I maintain it mainly for that and this stuff. I mean, quite a few of the guys that follow me on YouTube had asked for a community forum / place like that. I banned myself from the news. That's probably a pretty good thing. But they, I think El Chapo's son is kind of involved. Hey, Maxim, thank you for checking in. Yeah, and they let El Chapo's son go free to save lives. But, dude, it's like literally war in a third world country. There's guys rolling the streets with belt-fed machine guns in their lap, rocket launchers. They're not playing. I mean, they're rolling heavy, and it's kind of scary. It makes you wonder how close to chaos they are. I mean, that's pretty chaotic. It's kind of scary. And I think that's in a northern province that borders the U.S. I ain't certain. I haven't done my homework on it that well, but I think it is. I think it's in northern, do they call them counties? I don't remember what they call their districts or counties or whatever them sections are. But it's probably Chihuahua, or half of Mexico is here. The other half's killing each other right now. It's incredible. I mean, I've got photos all over my Facebook feed. Like I said, guys riding the roads with belt-fed machine guns and rocket launchers in the car with them. It's incredible. It's kind of scary. Like I said, it's kind of scary. All right, I'm going to ask you guys too. This is the USB-C to 3.5 millimeter mic impedance coupler for GoPro. If y'all know where I can get one of these even used for reasonable money, I'm interested, because this one has quit and I'm about to start doing surgery on it to see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. And I'm going to ask periodically through this stream to make sure people know about it. But yeah, it died on me. And now I don't got no microphone on my camera, so I'm operating on the internal mic. Kind of figured it out based on the information. No, I haven't looked on eBay for used ones. That's a good point. I'll probably do that as soon as I finish the stream. Thank you. I fail to remember eBay has everything. For some reason, I get it in my head that certain things are only available from certain places, and I forget to look there for even innocuous stuff like this thing. You can still buy these new from Amazon. There was somebody selling them, but they wanted $60 for it, and I just ain't interested in dropping $60 on an impedance matcher. That's all this is. There's a little toroid transformer in there, if I had to guess, that's matching the impedance of the microphone to the USB and somehow imposing it on the USB as a signal. You know, there's not much happening here, but there's some stuff going on in there. But it's going to be a broke wire. That's all that's wrong with it, is a broke wire. So I just got to figure out where the wire's broke. I can fix that. I will probably shave this plastic off till I get down in here and see if I can find a broke wire on the connector, because I've bent the connector. I was showing them earlier. You can kind of tell right there if I hold it good and still. It's kicked like this, and I've bent it back. I dropped it when I had it on the other cage, and it was just the wire, it was exposed, and it landed on it. It bent it real bad, and I've kind of fixed it. Well, it still worked, but I lost it that day. I think that was the day it died. Yeah, eBay has it all, including fraudulence and theft. Yeah, you might go to a music store. I bet they could rig something up. Yeah, I've got, as far as that goes, I've ordered a headphone, a USB-C to headphone adapter, and then I ordered basically one of these, but in flexible cable, which is the TRS to TRRS, which is headphones. You know, you can tell that's got the extra band on it, and then it turns it into one of these. Because that way I should be able to hook that up with just an aftermarket device, but I didn't order it in time. I didn't figure this out but till yesterday. That's when I kind of got the idea. I was scrubbing through footage I shot yesterday, and I could hear the cage creaking. That was a clue. For the last video I made, I noticed all the audio levels were low, and I was having to bring them up. I normally have to pull about 10 dB off of them, and I thought maybe I've done something to the mic. That's what I was thinking at first. And then I got to checking, and that creaking noise was the internal mic. And if you go into the menus on the GoPro, you can go into preferences, and then under preferences, it's got input output. And in there, it has mic input. And if this is plugged in, it gives you external mic or internal mic as the choices. But it was blanked out, which means it didn't see this at all. So that's what makes me think the connector might be broke. It was still allowing it to charge though. So maybe just one cable, one conductor's broken. But yeah, I gotta cut the cable, cut it open and see what I can figure out. Thank you. Yeah, all of that's really cool. I don't think I have any more. I was looking and I don't think I videoed pretty much anything past Petra, which is kind of sad because I thought I did. I was pretty sure. We went to some kind of, she kept calling it a box canyon, but it's a huge, it's almost like a caldera. It's this enormous area where the whole place sunk like a bunch of 100 meters, like several 100 meters. It's a big giant depression, and it's got a cliff wall along one edge that's enormous. When you drive into it, you're driving through this thing, you don't realize it's sunk till you start to come up on the wall at the far end. And I mean, it's an enormous cliff wall. I don't remember what that place was called, but when we got there, I was actually filming there. I know I had video footage from there, but for some reason, I can't find it. So I'm gonna have to look closer. Maybe it got stuck in a folder with some other footage, but I think I got a little bit there and some in Jerusalem, and I thought I got a lot of footage when we went to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Let's see. Yeah, see, and I thought, yeah, he's asking, did I get anything on Christ's tomb? And I thought I filmed a bunch of that. I know I took still photos. I'm pretty sure I filmed some of it. But I don't know where the footage is. And there's one place I don't know. I think I pulled all the memory cards down. I'll check. I haven't erased any of the memory cards. The only one that I cleared was the one in the camera, which would be the last one I was using. Ooh, maybe I didn't override it. Might not be no more Israel videos. But I don't know. Yeah, oh yeah. What I thought about doing was, even if I can't find any footage, Bass Angler said post up some stills. What I'll do is I'll make basically a narrated slideshow. I'll do a voiceover and talk about what's going on in the photos, because I got pictures of like the Western Wall and the Temple Mount. You know, the top of the Temple Mount is all Muslim. But literally as soon as you leave the Temple Mount, it's the Jewish area. It's kind of bizarre, but they have real strict lines that they've drawn that they don't step over, and it's kind of interesting to see that. But yeah, I've got a bunch of photos of that area. We've done a Western Wall tunnel tour, and they take you inside of the underground. There's a whole section of that area at the Temple Mount where it goes back, and they, in ancient times, built arched supports and built a false floor over a whole area there, and then built a town on top of it. And I think it was probably to make cisterns, to collect water, I believe. But you go back in that old part where they built all those archways, and then you walk along the wall all the way to the north, I guess it's the northwest corner. And then you come out. You come out of it in that corner, and up next to the citadel or the fortress, whatever his name was. I can't remember his name now. There's some great conqueror built a fortress on the corner, and you come out there. It's basically, you go all the way to the other end of that Western Wall, and under the ground, they've got a block of stone. I don't remember how many hundreds of tons it weighs, that they estimate. They don't know how they set this stone. It's enormous. It's probably, seriously, it's probably 30 feet long and 5 or 6 feet tall in the wall, in the foundation wall of the western wall. They've got a bunch of stones there that they don't know how they moved them. They're just enormous. It's incredible just to see it. You just have to see it to believe it. It's enormous. Let's see. Well, we will see it someday sooner or later anyway. If I understand Revelation. Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to be such a happy time then, though. It's going to be kind of, them 7 years of tribulation aren't going to be so fun. But yeah, we do all that. We go to Hebron. I don't think I filmed anything in Hebron. We went to Abraham's tomb. I took some photos, though. I believe I did take some still photos. No, I didn't. I didn't take my camera on that one. I left it in the van. There was a whole bunch of, Hebron's inside the West Bank, so there was a whole bunch of Israeli military everywhere, and they were on edge, and I just wanted to go see it and go get back on the van. Let's see here. We went to Bethlehem, also in the West Bank, also in the contention. I think we ate lunch at Bethlehem. What now? I need to straighten up a lot more, but I'm about ready to check out of here. Ooh, be careful what you wish for. You be punching out. You got to get that blue-eyed eagle before Long Rider. You can't let him get it with that Sony camera. Come on. Think about this for a minute. But have y'all noticed this? I've noticed this. Ever since the iPhone 11 came out, every dadgum photography channel, except mine, has done a review on the cameras on that iPhone. Why would you do that? Why? Not a single one of them goes out and shoots photos with an iPhone. Not one of them. But yet they all review the cameras on the iPhone as if they did. Long Rider has improved 300%. Is it because he got that $10,000 lens and that $3,500 camera body? It's a stupid phone. Yeah, I know, but it's like I can't turn on YouTube without it showing up at least about every third or fourth video in my suggested videos. And I have yet to watch a review. I've yet to watch any reviews. I don't know why it's offering them to me so prevalently, because it's not like I'm searching for it. My phone works fine. I'm not even interested in the new iPhone. I'm not worried about their goofy super wide lens. I want GoPro looking footage. I'll use a GoPro. I've got one or two. I have a GoPro Hero 3 black. If you know anybody looking for one, I'd sell it super cheap. It's got quite a few batteries and a aftermarket battery charger. I'm not sure where the original battery charger is. But I don't use it at all because it's not stabilized. The stabilization in the 7 makes the 3 basically worthless to me. It's good for static shots or for time lapses. It's good for time lapses. But yeah, if you know anybody looking for a Hero 3 that wants to play around with it a little bit, I'd sell it to them for like $25, seriously. And I probably can find 3 or 4 batteries to go with it because I don't use it. Mike Mitchell says, in a few years, there will be a whole generation that knows nothing of dedicated interchangeable lens cameras. As much as I hate to admit it, I believe you're right. I think that they'll become a novelty, is where I think that'll go. Y'all seen that? What was that one called? 16. Remember that phone? That it wasn't a phone; it was just a camera, but it had like 16 cameras in one. and came out about 2 years ago. It was one of those Kickstarter deals. And Ted Ford's bought one. He finally got one in hand, and he played with it. And he said it didn't really perform as well as it should, as well as they claimed. But he said he liked where the technology was going, because the way they done it, they had telephoto lenses in there, and they had built them in with mirrors so they could get the distance and all that sort of thing. And he thought eventually interchangeable lens cameras would morph into that before it was over said and done. Let's see, what am I missing here? Maxim says, every time I actually use my Google Pixel 3 to take a photo, I always end up, come on, I wish I quit doing that. I always end up pitching the file because it looks like crap once imported into the editor on the computer. So you just get to where you don't even bother. Phones are, and then Bass Angler says, phones are useful in certain situations. Dang, this thing fades out too quick. But I hate when these idiots say that phones are going to replace DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. Yeah, the phone won't, but I think they'll move into maybe a modular camera, maybe a camera assembly that has maybe not 16 lenses, but maybe at least has 4 or 5, and it covers everything from maybe 15 millimeters to 400 compressed into that one device. I think that's where it'll go if it goes anywhere to that in that nature. Phones are great for taking images of grandkids. Yeah, they're great for snapshots. That's something that I do agree with, is a smartphone has become the snapshot camera. That's what it's for. It really is. I mean, the phone manufacturers want to pitch it as more than that. Long Rider made it back. But we all know that it's shooting snapshots. I mean, it's doing the best it can. So when you got a sensor that's only that big, you can only do so much. You know, in good sun, in good bright light, you can actually get a pretty decent photo out of an iPhone. You really can. And it'll even print. You'll print a 5x7 pretty well, or even in good light, you can do an 8x10 with an iPhone photo, and it'll look pretty good. It's not on the level of a DSLR or a good quality mirrorless camera, a good quality interchangeable lens camera. I guess I should start referring to them like that. But it's close. It's not bad. I mean, with this iPhone X, it takes a reasonably good image. What I like about it is the camera I'm using right now, the front-facing camera. That was the reason I got this phone, was the front-facing camera. Because at the time, I was vlogging with that Sony a7 II, and it was heavy and bulky and big, and the battery life was terrible. And I already had the battery grip on it, so it hold 2 batteries. I have 6 batteries for that camera because of the battery life. I thought, man, if they ever come out with a 1080 HD front-facing camera, I'm in. And this phone came out with one. So right now, I'm filming with the front-facing camera on the iPhone X. And lots of my vlogs for probably 6 or 7 months were shot with this camera on this phone. And it shows, because it doesn't have image stabilization on the front camera, so you get a little bit of noise. What's that buzzing noise? Probably the refrigerator. It's running, and the clock's ticking. But nothing else is really on. But yeah, the refrigerator's right over there. I mean, see? I'm going to give y'all a quick tour. Let me cut this light on. Does y'all's refrigerator look like this? Not only there, but over here too. Can you tell we print our photos? That's part of the video that I never show. I set up my footage right here when I shoot my videos, because you can see this. This is my studio, but that's right there. We have a very small house. It's compact. Let's see. Let me catch up with myself. Bass Angler says, I think it was last year that I read about the tech that they were working on that used no lenses. It was going to be done strictly off the sensor. That'd be interesting because I'd like to see how they create a plane of focus without a lens. That'd be interesting to see. Max is on a poetry retreat in Canada. LOL. Bass Angler. Oh, you're going to take that from the city boy, Max. Then he asked what the buzzing noise was. You probably hear the clock. No answering. The buzzing is Bassman's broken mirror. It's in my brain from a few years ago. He said, oh, you're going to take that from City Boy. I reply, what's that buzzing noise? Now it's adding up. The delay is causing a breakdown in communications. You guys are slow. Oh. Y'all got the tour of the photo album on the wall. Make me out of that deal. But I did print the phone. Okay, something a lot of people don't do. Let me show you something. People don't realize this, but you can literally upload your photos from your phone to Shutterfly, and it will print them in a book. These are all my cell phone photos, right out of my phone. Yeah, check out me and the cat. Yeah, I get the glare from the light out of the way. But I don't even know if that cat's still alive.
That's your cell phone?
Yeah, and you know, that way I don't lose them. If the phone gets broken or lost, then you still have the photos. People don't realize they can print their cell phone photos, and print snapshot size, they work fine. They look good. I mean, a couple of them are kind of grainy because they come from earlier generations of phones. You know, like I think some of them even come off my 3GS because it just imports them into the next phone every time I get a new phone. It moves all of the images over and all the videos over. They do that whole cloning deal. She didn't realize that they were here, apparently, because now she's looking through the photo album for apparently the first time. But yeah, that photo is many years old. Sierra is not that small anymore. It's like, he is a submariner in the Navy now and has been for about 4 years. This little kid, you know. So yeah, some of these photos are very old, but yeah, it's kind of neat. Oh look, how many people has done selective color? That was a thing once. Double exposure, anybody? I done that with a smartphone. Yeah, that was Sierra in the 5th grade. That was 7 or 8 years ago. So yeah, you can, I've printed, like I said, print them out from time to time. That way you don't lose them if your phone gets lost, stolen, or broken, you know. And it's not expensive. I mean, that photo book might have costed me $30. And there's hundreds of photos in it because I put multiple on each page. A lot of people don't print their work. And that's something that everybody should do, which I'm preaching to the choir for the most of you guys. I know Max prints, I know Long Rider prints, I know Bass Angler prints for sure. Mitch probably does. Or Mike. It's Mike Mitchum, yeah. But usually, if you're in photography for any length of time, just found out by watching Anthony Morganti that there is a free feature in Lightroom to create a free web page. Interesting. Huh, had no idea. Yeah, and see, Mike even says, I print. If you shoot photographs for any length of time, you print your work, and you just, because you want to be able to, you want it to be tangible. You want to be able to hold it in your hand. There's something magical about holding your photos in your hand. My Aunt Donna just checked in. She says she never prints, but she should. Good Lord. If you printed your pictures, there would be how many countless millions of them. You should pick and choose. You even sold a photo? I've never sold a photo. Aunt Donna, y'all should print one of those of the 5 generation photos at least. That was pretty impressive. Y'all need to print one of them. At least one. Or 10. But yeah, that's not expensive. Like I said, Shutterfly was easy. I just uploaded them. I let it generate the album, which it makes a few mistakes here and there. Like it crops off some of them a little weird. Like say it cut her head off, you know. But you can save them so that the phone is not the only repository. Let's see if I'm missing something. That's why you need to have one of us on live to get around the typing delay. Yeah. Oh. Max brings up a good point. We still haven't done that multi-feed deal like you and Amar did. That means I have to actually do like some work. It's so easy to use the smartphone because it's like built into the YouTube app. I just hit go live, type in a little bit of data, pick a thumbnail photo and hit a button, and here we are doing a live stream. So it's so easy. I just wish they made it easy to where I could add somebody in without having to use third-party software. I did find the software option in this GoPro earlier looking for that mic input functionality. I found it. I found the function in here where it's got the live feed option. So supposedly that thing has Wi-Fi. And I guess it couples to your smartphone for the stream. I'm not sure how that works. I need to read up on it. But GoPro will do it too. So I need to look into that, I guess. But Max makes a good point. But if you, another point I wanted to make, if you print your work, you can give it away. You can give it to people as gifts. And a lot of people, like, I made a print of the eclipse. I got a picture of the eclipse hanging in the living room. It's pretty much a black frame with a white circle. You know, it's because that's what the eclipse is. And my sister saw it, Amber saw it, and she liked it. So I had one printed for her. It's a little smaller. I think I did the 18 by 24 for her, and I framed it. And I gave her that one either for her birthday or for Christmas. And she loved it. She was ecstatic to get it. So yeah, you can give them to people. People love to get nice framed prints. By the way, I love the Petra video. I will probably watch it a dozen times. There's a few good anecdotal moments in there. That was one of my more favorite ones to make. I just got to tell you the truth. That was a pretty good trip. I just wished I hadn't jacked up the video. I screwed up a couple of times with this play button. The noise level's high enough. Like if you hit play, you hear it. It'll beep in a second. See that? Uh-oh. Oh, that's because it's filming. That was quick capture. If you hit it again, you hear it beep 3 more times, or 7. 7 means it's off. Well, you have to listen for the 3 beeps to mean it stopped filming, but it's in pause mode. I did quick capture. That's a different function. But I forgot to listen for them 3 beeps, and it's loud enough in that canyon I didn't hear it. So I missed us singing a Sacred Harp song in the canyon. I literally filmed up to we start to sing, and I turn off the camera thinking I'm turning it on. And then I turn it back on. That's where the upside down walking, and I say the part about, remember when I said that about the camera? That was literally right after that. It's like, oh, it was frustrating. That makes it human. Yes. Mike Mitchum says there are templates to make calendars and they are free. Make calendars for Christmas presents, and that's a good point. Aunt Donna knows my Aunt Kathy, her sister-in-law, used to make calendars and give them all to the family for Christmas. She didn't do one last year. I just never realized that. Teresa's got a bunch of the pages tore off of the old calendar in there. She used them for prints, hung them up in the office. But yeah, she used to do that and give them away for Christmas every year. She'd build calendars. She'd take a lot of like Facebook images and build little collages of each family member for that month. It was kind of neat. And that's a good thing. I've wanted to make a calendar for a while. I may actually do that.
Hey, David, how much longer you got to look into your Bible study?
About 5 more minutes. Is that too long?
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4. I got to go in 4 minutes, guys and gals. Yeah. Well, I have a Facebook group called the Georgia Photographer Gathering. I have created that so that everybody can have a place on Facebook to get together, share photos, talk about photography, pick at each other about their gear choice, whether it be Nikon or Sony. If you have one of these laying around your house and you want to sell it to me cheap, I'm looking for one. Secondhand, as long as it works, I don't care. This is a GoPro impedance matcher. This one's currently dead, and I need one. She who must be obeyed has spoken.
Yes. Very good.
Madison County Sound Labs. I joined the Facebook group. Oh, okay. So I saw that name. Is that a made-up name or is that a legit last name? Giannopoulos. I think I pronounced that right. That's a lot of letters, and I'm prone to screw it up. Oh, it's legit. I can just imagine being in first grade and having to write your name. That was an endeavor. It's Greek. Oh. Woo, it's long. A lot of letters. But I appreciate you guys checking in. I really do. She'd be Greek. I appreciate everything y'all have done and all of the support. It's been awesome. I have a video coming out tomorrow. It touches on one of the things we talked about tonight. It's in there, but I actually enjoyed making the video coming out tomorrow. But I got a footage of the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival to do. I got that footage. I just haven't put the video together yet. Just been covered up. It's just been real busy here lately. And tomorrow is another day of capturing footage. And I'm going to hopefully not have a lot of mic noise with the cage, because I'm going to have to run the GoPro with the internal mic. It seems to sound pretty good, so we'll see. But appreciate you guys watching. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. If you've put up with me this long, you probably have already subscribed. So with that, this is David, the Georgia Photographer, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Max. Yeah, it ain't supposed to rain until late in the afternoon unless it rains any at all. So we're supposed to be good. You guys have a great weekend too. Thank you. So I find the off button. Where's it at? Uh-oh. I can't turn it off. I don't know how. Later. Uh-oh. No. There's the live. Oh, there it is. End. God.